Alrighty, folks, and welcome back to the stream. We're going to be getting right into our Game 5, I believe, of Round 3 on the Northern Territory Esports League of Legends season. And I gotta say, what a fast first game we had. I am really interested to see how things are going to go. Folks, I'm joined here on the casting desk by none other than Chris Strider. If you want to say hi.
Hey, how's it going?
How is it going indeed? Now, we just saw an absolute record for NTE, a 13-minute win against our very own Purple Cobras coming in from Jewpies Angels. Now, do you think Destiny will take this as a bit of a challenge to try and beat 13 minutes, as they do have a bit of a rivalry between Jewpies Angels and Destiny?
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do that, so we'll just have to wait and see. But just based off the two teams' rivalry, I would say they will try to gun for it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so as for this next game that we've got coming up, Purple Cobras versus Destiny. Now, I understand, obviously, as a player who is playing in this season, have you done much scrimming against either of these teams? Specifically
no.
on the newer patch?
So we haven't had a chance to scrim Destiny or Purple Cobras yet. We have scrimmed CG, AD Astra, and Youngblood so far, but that's who we've scrimmed so far at the moment, but not these two.
Okay, well, Purple Cobras, their support seems to be a bit of a Thresh one trick, but he's fairly new. I think all of Purple Cobras are fairly new, but I think it's kind of good, right? Like Purple Cobras might be kind of, on a 0-4 record at the moment, but I think at the same time they've kind of had like an opportunity to really grow as new players at a bit of an accelerated pace compared to maybe what new players would normally grow at. So definitely very interested to see how these players turn out in the long run.
Yeah.
Because when you're new at kind of any game, really, just getting beaten by players that are better than you is one of the fastest ways of improvement. So Purple Cobras, by the end of the season, I could definitely see maybe taking out some of the lower tier teams and having some kind of personal growth and a bit of a character development arc. But they are hopping into the lobby right now. We had a little bit of a delay because our very own Bladexa was away from keyboard, but he is here and we're hopping into the lobby. So Game 5 will be underway very shortly, and then, we have our very own Game 6 coming up right after that, which is looking to also be a wild one. It's going to be none other than CG versus Jewpies Angels. So Jewpies Angels are going to have 2 games today, and they are going to be going against Casuarina Gentlemen, which, if you have a look at the leaderboards, is a 1-0-3 team, so not quite bottom tier, but definitely not one of the higher tier teams at the moment. So definitely could be a big upset again if they do manage to pull out a win. And we've seen it happen before against Jewpies Angels. If we remember harkening back to Challenger for Jade, whipping out the Master Yi mid in this kind of lower tier team, absolutely wiping the floor with Bladexa in the mid lane and carrying them to a win. So definitely we've seen it happen in the past. Gods can bleed, and we might be able to see it happen again.
Yeah, if you definitely pull out something like Master Yi and you have minimal CC, it's definitely going to favor that Master Yi, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Now we are just waiting on the last member of Purple Cobras to hop into the lobby, and then we'll get underway. So while we're here, I think it's a good opportunity to run through our sponsors. As always, thank you to our major sponsors for the Next Tier Esports League for 2021. Those are Paul's Iced Coffee, the Northern Territory Government, and McDonald's Darwin. So big shout outs to all of those three. I understand that Paul's Iced Coffee celebrating their 60th anniversary here in the territory. So, some people's parents or grandparents might have remembered when Paul's Iced Coffee first came out all the way back then. So it's a bit of a monumental occasion. And
yeah, definitely.
As well as that, we've also got our minor sponsors, of course, all these lovely folk on the screen that are bringing this season to you and have contributed towards the massive prize pool, not only for the viewers and the MVPs, but also, the grand winners. And it's probably the biggest prize pool that I think we've seen here in the territory for an esports tournament to date. It's absolutely massive, at least with us, definitely.
Yeah.
So very excited to see how these games go, but we are, again, still just waiting on one little lad to join the lobby. One cheeky little purple Cobra. We'll see if he hops in here.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not too far away.
So how's your day been, Chris?
Pretty good. I had to celebrate someone's 30th, so that's why I was running a tad late. Kind of.
Oh, that's always a good cause. Oh, there we go. Endo has joined the lobby.
There we go.
So we are going to be hopping into Champ Select any second now.
All right, they're both ready.
Just waiting on Nervous to hit the button. Really is very unfortunate that spectators cannot be lobby hosts in League of Legends. So we have to tell the players to start.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things we just have to hope they're not AFK from keyboard, but being in Champ Select, you think they wouldn't be, but...
Well, I am excited, honestly. I mean, Destiny will very likely win this game, but it's just kind of a question that I'm more interested in on if they can beat Jewpies Angels with their record of 13 minutes. We'll see. They're definitely going to try their hardest. Obviously, if Purple Cobras win this game, it'll be a massive upset. Thresh going to be the first ban away. They do not want Prodigium Thresh on the board.
Oh.
Let me get in there.
And the Tristana one coming out. Yeah. Okay.
Especially considering I don't think we've seen Nervous play much Tristana. I think he's been very much so favoring the Jinx and the Misfortune as his favored picks in the past, I believe.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's just a general ban, Tristana probably being one of the top 3 ADCs at the moment, so maybe they just weren't sure what to ban, so they just banned a pretty good AD carry, so... but Illaoi coming out there, what do you think of that ban, Jackson?
I don't know. I don't know if Cantankerous Jim has feared anything. Destiny maybe spelling things with the bans. I don't know.
I'm on to you.
These bans are just throwing me back a little bit, but yeah, the Ashe and Twitch coming through. I understand why Ashe was banned. We played against it and kind of took us out of the game later on, but the Twitch ban is quite interesting, actually. I feel like he's not as strong compared to the other AD carries at the moment, but Blitz is being hovered here. They're going to take that away from Prodigium. And as we are looking for the second picks coming out from Destiny, and they're going to lock in that beautiful center pick there. And Asuko just hovering at the moment, not sure what he's going to pick just yet, but I would imagine it would be a supportive type of champion. Just give me a sec. Oh, Lee Sin. I'm quite excited now. Lee Sin actually been chosen.
I mean, that is a favored champion of ACST in previous seasons when he whipped it out. He didn't really whip it out to too much success, but could obviously have, you know, a lot of time to improve a whole season. So we'll see. But I mean, Lee Sin is a very hard champion to execute. You have to put in a lot of effort to just kind of reach the same results as others. But I think Lee Sin, due to some of the newer items and etc., has definitely gotten a little bit easier. You can just kind of stat check people now, whereas you never really used to be able to do that. You used to always have to be able to land those combos.
Yeah, I've definitely picked up Lee Sin, and Gordrinko Hysterics is quite fun to play, so not sure how viable he is in the lanes. I'm sure he's still pretty strong, but I feel like the slight nerfs have kind of pushed him a little bit towards jungle, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a middle top side.
In the lane was absolutely ridiculous when you could rush Iron Spike Whip and max E, and then just E Iron Spike Whip and one-shot range creeps at like level 7.
And you can't trade, it's kind of ridiculous, yeah. That small nerf was to keep him in check, so to speak, but yeah, definitely still top pick, and the Kench actually banned. Okay. What do you think of that ban, Cadius?
I don't really think we should pay much attention to Destiny bans.
No, I know, but I actually want to see the Kenshin
Kenshi
our
work.
scene, but obviously his changes are a bit new. But yeah, Yasuo being banned out and Mundo. Okay. Yeah, DST guard opting for the Syndra into Pantheon,
what weird bans
so
from
that's
Destiny?
interesting.
I wonder what those bans could mean.
I mean, yeah, I see what you mean, but yeah, I'm not going to say anything, but we'll just leave it at that. But what do you think of the Pantheon pick, Cadius?
Pantheon's really good champion at very simple, very lane dominant, as we know.
As we know, but Set actually being picked up here. I quite like it actually. Definitely a pretty strong champion if you can just pull out true damage at a moment's notice. So, and his kit's quite good actually. This looks like a pretty similar comp to last game, I believe, except for they've taken away Blitz, as far as I'm aware.
Nasus on the board, a bit of a favorite of Cantankerous Jim. He does like that Nasus pick. Very strong champion at the moment. Does look like the Donger is going to get locked in as in the in I believe the AD carry role potentially.
Nah, they're going to play bot side. Yeah,
they are going to play support
Donger with center.
Donger. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the
ages.
fasting center on Ardmona with Heimerdinger CSing more than likely, and that is, I imagine, a very strong lane. It's just going to be kill after kill. Heimerdinger lands the grenade into the double laser. Center just locks them up with a bit of damage, and they are going to be going good night. So, very scary lane. Lucian and Blitzcrank, though, obviously do have quite the random factor. I think Prodigium does actually like Heimerdinger as a counter pick into Blitz because you can place the turret down when he hooks, and he'll hook the turret instead of you, which is fairly useful. It allows you to kind of counter Blitzcrank without needing to pick into something like a Morgana, which obviously not the greatest versus the rest of their comp. Very AD heavy team. So Morgana loses a lot of stock there. Whereas Heimerdinger can still kind of counter the Blitzcrank while also being a great sort of carry bot laner to go with the fasting center first pick. Just really good draft from Destiny overall. DST Guard, obviously well known for his Syndra. One of the more favored champions of his, Syndra Oriana, does like those control mages in the mid lane. Aceco also loves playing Lee Sin. We saw him fumble on it a little bit, especially against Jewpies Angels, just mainly because of, again, the execution of the champions. Alpha Arcasia on these champions like Fiddlesticks, very easy to pilot, very easy to execute, allowed him to really focus on macro, and Aceco was, meanwhile, you have Alpha Arcasia who's able to just kind of click R and get a pentakill with like basically one button, and then Aceco's having to like do all these high APM advanced combos just to land like one kick, which might win them a fight. So Lee Sin's a lot more effort for not necessarily more reward, and that really kind of was a burden in a lot of Destiny games last season that kind of allowed Jewpies Angels to really get ahead and end up taking the 2020 season out. But I mean, it's been a whole season of growth for this team, so who knows, maybe he'll put up more dominating performances this season on the champion. But in the top lane, I mean, Set is just an absolute monster and kind of one of the only champions that Nasus can't like just out-sustain and push out a lane just due to his sustain difference. So we'll see how that one goes. Champion. Set with the Blade of the Ruined King build and like Gore Drinker with Sterax. Very, very difficult to deal with as Nasus. He's just going to heal a ton and absolutely demolish you. So we'll see how that goes. But what are you most excited for in this game by looking at the drafts, Chris?
It's really hard to pick something, but if anything, it would probably be just Lee Sin and seeing how he can pull off some mechanical outplays or invades in the jungle. Viego is a little vulnerable early in his early clearing phases when he's going from red side to blue side or whatever his jungle clear path is. So I suspect this will be a bit of a banger at the start in the bot lane, whoever can rush level 2 first. But pretty much standard starts across the board unless Set goes for an aggressive level 1 against Nasus. But pretty standard start, I think, coming out from Destiny, unless there's some level 2 shenanigans in the bot lane. So Hopefully this Pantheon can get going so he can get level 6 and start roaming with his ultimate, and hopefully they can look for outplays on the other side of the map. Hopefully they can punish whoever is overextended. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the game essentially. I feel like Purple Cobras has a pretty standard draft, but they do need a snowball due to their composition. They kind of do have a contingency with Nasus in the late game, but versing Senna and Donga, just how much can he actually get in? So it's going to be on him.
Absolutely, folks. Well, we are about to hop into game any moment now, so definitely do let us know in the chat. Do you think that Purple Cobras are going to do the impossible, or is this going to be Destiny trying to beat the 13-minute record and take it all? We are about to find out as we head into Game 5 of Round 3 of your Next Tier Esports season. And folks, we're coming up to midway through the season as well, so definitely things are getting serious now for both of these teams. But as we hop on to the Summoner's Rift, we have a little look around. Definitely does look like both teams here looking to maybe ping something aggressive. We've got blue side, they're pinging on the way to head right into that mid-side river. We'll see if maybe they can get a bit of a cheese kill, because I mean, if anything is going to be able to get Purple Cobras up on the board here, it's going to be a little bit of some cheese.
All right, we're going to see what happens here, but I suspect a bit of exciting play. Oh, looks like unfortunately Pantheon was spotted out, but hopefully they can make something happen.
They do walk over a ward there.
I just want to... And the turret, of course, to persuade them. What was your timer on your side, Jackson, for...
58, 59, 1 minute.
All right, so I'm about 2 seconds off, so you might have to pause.
1 minute 1, 1 minute 2, 1 minute 3.
Okay, yeah, it's within a second, so that should be fine.
Alright. Right as I said my time, it froze for a couple seconds, so it works out.
All good.
Them showing on the bot side on that ward, though, has enabled Lee Sin and Set to sneak into blue side here. Maybe looking to get a little bit of a cheeky pick on Cantankerous Jim level 1. We'll see what happens. No, they decide to actually just let him pass. They're going to go for the blue buff.
Asuko going for a 3 camp full clear. He's going to try and do everything, and Viega's going to be put super behind. I wonder if he's going to struggle to get scuttles as well, but we'll just see how that goes. But
I mean, they do have a buff on to the blue, so he could actually have just gone buff to buff and trying to take that one out. But Stealth in the mid lane here, putting the pressure on DST Guard. DST Guard obviously loving the phase rush on Syndra. It did get nerfed fairly heavily, especially on ranged champions. The cooldown got blown to pieces, so a little bit less favored than it used to, honestly. But even when phase rush was not the favored rune on this champion, Guard was very much so a fan of it. In an age where Syndras were all taking Electrocute and Spellbook and that sort of thing, Guard was kind of the phase rush enjoyer. So good to see he's sticking to his roots there, sticking to his guns, keeping that in check. But here we go, Kiratine goes up, lands the stun on Nasus in the top side. Aceco is coming in as well, but Endo might have stepped a little bit too far forward, forced to flash away in the bot side, as Fromoth is going to have an absolute failure of a gank. Not looking good, and now Aceco is still just sitting in that brush. He knows that he's got all the time in the world to gank this Nasus level 2 and then look to go for his red buff. And Cantankerous Jim trying to dodge out the Lee Sin Q, but he might be trying to put a little bit too much effort into dodging, and that's going to be first blood going over to Kiratine. Already 2 minutes and 50 seconds in. I don't know if that's faster than Jewpies Angels got their first blood, but definitely is setting quite the precedent. And now we see the teleport back from Nasus. Aceco likely going to be heading over to his red buff and then immediately heading back over towards Cantankerous Jim on the top side, trying to get another bit of a gank off on the Nasus now that he knows that he does not have flash available. Did opt for the Ghost teleport. What do you think about Ghost TP into the Lee Sin Set matchup?
I can see why he picked it for late game, but for early game, yeah, he's definitely going to get punished for it. So he's probably thinking too far ahead, because if you can't get there, there's no point.
Ghost is one of those kind of summoner spells that's really good on Nasus into like those ranged kind of pokey matchups where, you know, you can pop it to just really get on top of them and bully them like once you get your items. But against kind of like very heavy kill pressure lanes like the Set, ooh, hold on, looks like Endome is going to walk up a little bit too far, get snagged out by a grenade and taken down. And now we've got Nervous under the bot side tower by himself. Stealth trying to get a little bit of damage off on ACST in the mid lane. There's just fighting going on all over the map.
Everywhere.
Frometh now in a 1v1 between ACST, but he does have the level advantage, and DST Guard is going to be able to come in before Stealth can. Flashes the wall to get out to safety, and that's going to be flash off the jungler of Purple Cobras already. It's all kind of falling apart. Ardmona stepping a little bit too far forward there, taking a tower shot mid lane. There's poke going on. Cantankerous Jim getting bullied up in the top side. What is going on? My goodness, it is just a constant back and forth.
It's a constant rap battle, that's for sure. So a lot of action happening all around the map, but Lee Sin definitely having a big lead on this Viego at the moment, and just constantly being shoved in, and the Blitz hook coming out with the Donga turret there's a bit, as you mentioned, a decent counter to Blitzcrank.
Yeah, it's actually really definitely underrated as a Blitzcrank counter pick. Is the just the Heimerdinger being able to stick that turret down in front of the hook. Very strong. Endo going to hook Ardmona under the tower though, but ACST is coming in. They've got no CC to lock him down though. Nervous in the meanwhile is going to get rooted. Flash Q by ACST is going to miss. Oh my goodness, what was that? And that is going to be a bit of an embarrassing one for ACST. Probably getting roasted by the boys in the Discord right now.
Oh.
And they are going to be allowed to get out to safety. He was rooted under tower, and ACST went for the flash Q and misclicked.
Oh no.
But here we go, Frometh going in onto Curatein. The Wither does land. The stun connects. He's got a big haymaker. It's going to one-shot Cantankerous Jim. The Triumph comes through. He does have level 6, but opts to flash away. That was disastrous. My goodness, you really do have to watch out for that max stack haymaker. It is so much damage, especially if he's putting some points into it, which he might be. He is actually maxing the haymaker, so can't be getting hit by that when he's at full grit. It is going to one-tap you.
Oh no. Here he comes.
He's going in onto Frometh here. He has that ultimate available. He's going to ult him away. The slow does land. Frometh doing his best to get some damage down, but it's not going to be enough, and he is going to get deleted. Quite interesting that Curatein is going for the W max here, honestly. Q max is probably better into Nasus, at least like in my knowledge, just because you know, he does like to get a little bit of health, a little bit of armor, so having that max health damage is probably going to do you a little bit more service, especially into a matchup where he's not really going to be getting your grit up very much. But hold on, Curatein might have overstepped a little bit too far. Is he's going to get the +6 here?
Oh.
He's going to look for it.
And he gets
+12. There it is. +12 is going to come down.
Alright, so I think time has come out of sync, unfortunately. Cadius,
646, 647.
Yeah, I'm 3 seconds out, so you might have to pause for a bit.
You can just fast forward a little bit.
Oh, fast forward, sorry. I'm sitting at 7, 1, 2,
after this
3,
Pantheon exchange in the mid lane, I'll do it. See what happens.
I'm on 10, 11. Oh no. Here we go.
Frometh getting dropped very low. Will ACST go down? Oh my goodness, that was so close. Well played indeed.
Oh no.
And again, that's just Lee Sin as a champion, right? Like he's just got so much room for things to go wrong. So much room for things to go wrong when you're playing that champion. Oh, what a hook! An immediate flash by Ardmona definitely is very good for the bot lane of Purple Cobras, forcing out a summoner spell like that. And if Endome is able to land one more great hook like that, that is going to be lights out for Destiny's bot lane. And so far, this is the most of a fight we've seen Purple Cobras put up against the team, I think. Endome is going into the bot lane right now. Frometh looking to get a little bit of a gank, but these Heimerdinger turrets are just too much. Endome forced to flash away. Oh, but here we go on the top side. Stealth coming up. Cantankerous Jim does pop the Guardian of the Sands, or Fury of the Sands, I should say.
Oh, that was nice.
That was a big kick. Stealth is going to get deleted and taken down. Cantankerous Jim now chasing after Curatein, but DST Guard coming in clutch with the stun is going to let ACST clean that one up. You saw him miss the Q in the bot lane. He was going to be like, don't worry, bro, I'll stun him. I'll help you out.
As long as you land the Qs later on, that's all that really matters. But the gold lead's starting to balloon here just a little bit, hitting around that 4k gold mark, but just harassing Viego here, unfortunately, not letting him clear
Now trying to keep Viego off of his wolves, wrapping around now. Can we see an inset coming out here? Aceco getting a little bit of damage. Curiatine with the beautiful stun. He actually used the wolf camp there to get that stun to connect. That was really well played. Stealth now in a bit of a 1v2 situation under his tower. Aceco maybe taking that Q in. We'll see. Decides not to take the Sonic Wave. Going to be backing off, but here comes Cantankerous Jim. Big damage onto Kiratine. Pantheon is going to go down, and the Unleashed Power from Syndra is going to delete Nasus, and that is going to be basically GG in the top side. Don't see how they're ever going to recover from falling that far behind. But in the bot side, though, Endo looking a little bit low himself. Heal comes through right as Ardmona does pop the ultimate. Nervous getting a little bit too overzealous, though. Dashes forward, and it is going to be to his death as he's going to get taken down. Aceco is basically free to just bully right now with DST Guard as much as he wants. Frometh looking to maybe get a solo kill, and he does! Aceco going to go down. Frometh looking to maybe pilot Lee Sin better than Aceco here. We'll see.
You got a flash, Oh.
DST Guard does get the blast cone over the wall. Stealth did have the flash available, actually, but decided not to blow it.
Oh, you might regret this.
He was looking for that ward. Unleashed Power not available on Syndra. Oh, but the Senna heal coming in really nice there, and he does connect the kill with the W. But Stealth, 1 Q will finish off DST Guard right now. He can charge that Q and then flash and let it rip and it'll kill. Nervous is dashing in, actually, on Ardmona. Oh, but here comes Aceco. No, they're just getting a little bit too greedy. Endo might also be getting a little bit too greedy. Aceco jumping over the wall, looking for Endo now. Big kick into an auto attack. Kick auto attack like that is actually a little bit harder than you would think to pull off. Oh, does miss the Q.
Showing that he's human, but yeah, definitely pulling out all the stops on this Lee Sin. Definitely showing that he does have the APM with slight mistakes, but overall he's pulling off a pretty clean game here on the Lee, and they do pick up the Mountain Dragon, and it's 13-3 at the moment, but it doesn't look like they're going to get that 13-minute win, unfortunately, Cadius. They're going to probably drag this one out to 20.
Definitely is going to be taking it a little bit further, but we'll see just how much further they need to go.
The fact that Destiny has more kills than the actual timers just goes to show they're not messing around, so to speak. Besides, looking for all these skirmishes so early in the game, it's just kind of crazy that there's so much action is going on. But if there is a shining light for Purple Cobras, it is definitely the Nasus pick. Hopefully he's able to farm up a bit more, get those stacks up. And this is what happens when you disrespect.
The Set does have that full grit stacked up. We'll see if he lets it rip. He does, but it might not be enough. He is going to go down. The Fury of the Sands AoE going to finish him off after the Q. And that is Nasus 2 and 4 now. Kiratine needs to stop himself from dying to this Nasus and Frometh so much, otherwise they might actually be able to get a little bit of pressure going topside. But here we go, Aceco going in, lands the Dragon's Rage into a beautiful Sonic Wave, and finishes him off there with a nice little Gore Drinker combo. Stealth getting pressured out of lane by DST Guard, flash forward, Unleash Power is going to result in the kill. And there he goes. Beautiful solo kill by DST Guard in the mid lane, and now we're looking at maybe a potential bot dive here if they walk up a little bit too far. They are looking for this plate first and foremost. Endome going forward. The hook goes a little bit wide. Nervous is not really doing anything to help his support and is going to be having to flash out of their Endome. That is, having to flash out to avoid getting solo killed by Destiny's bot lane.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough at the moment for Nervous and Endome. Just constantly being shoved endlessly. And I'm just surprised that Pantheon hasn't altered down bot lane just yet. Maybe they just opted.
Another hook there, definitely not good. And Ardmona just has this phage, so he is just able to just constantly wallop onto the enemy team. And every time he lands a hit, he's regenerating health, being really durable. But Aceco might actually get caught out here. He does go down. That is going to be a kill going over to Stealth, his first for the game.
I think he gave away 300 shutdown gold there.
Oh, Ardmona does land a root. It is going to land onto Endome. He's going to go down, but not before landing a hook on DST Guard. Frometh in the middle of things, though. He does not have the ultimate available to get this kill on DST Guard. One more hit should do it. Oh, but he gets hit by the Q, and Nervous is going to go down as well. If he got that last little hit there and was able to transform into Syndra, that fight might have gone very differently, but the Q cooldown for Syndra came up just in time, and they were able to gun that one out and turn things around.
Yeah, but Nasser's definitely holding his own against Kiritine on the set here. What are your thoughts on actually building Blade of the Ruin King first item on set?
It's really good, but I think it's actually only really good if you're maxing Q. I think if you're maxing W, going Gore Drinker is quite good, because when you're maxing Gore Drinker, you want to be kind of like taking damage and getting low. So
Beautiful.
that damage from the Pantheon is huge, and unfortunately, Dragon's Rage just going to fall a little bit short. Aceco only needs one more auto attack. He is going to miss the Sonic Wave. Stealth is going to block it, and they might actually both get out of here if Aceco is not able to finish him off. No, he does take one down with the Sonic Wave, but here comes Viego. Tries to look for another Sonic Wave. It's going to miss, and he's going to get taken down by Fromoth again. Fromoth on this Viego is just proving to be an absolute menace to Aceco, as again we talked about Lee Sin's barrier for execution. He's just missing those Sonic Waves, not quite landing the execute with Dragon's Rage, and when you do that, you obviously push them too far away. So I don't know really what else to say, but that's just very, very unfortunate that he was not able to connect those Qs. And Viego, much simpler champion, comes in, lands a couple right clicks, and you just get exploded now that he has that Kraken Slayer finish. But while this is happening, Destiny are just getting objectives elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, they definitely took 2 towers for free in the mid lane as soon as they saw Pantheon and Viego go to the top side. But this gold lead is definitely ballooning out of control, looking at 11k gold now. Now, in normal circumstances, this is insurmountable to come back from, but I have seen in pro scenes and the local scene that people can come back down from 10k gold, so we'll just see how it plays out. But Kiritine once again
is actually getting ghosted on. Wither has been popped onto him. Endo might be getting killed as well in the mid lane. He is just going to get blown up, but meanwhile on the top side, Kiritine looks like he is just going to go down. Plus 12 for Cantankerous Jim once again. And now the recalls are coming through for Set, or should I say Viego, as they are retreating back to protect this mid lane at tier 3. Ardmona doing so much damage with that Divine Sundera. Oh, flash forced out from Lucian already. Just getting bullied out of lane under his own tier 3 tower by Ardmona right now.
Looking for a bit of a trade here. Can he
big hook from Endome actually does connect onto Aceco. He does use this safeguard to try and get out to safety, which he is able to do, and they return the kill onto Blitzcrank. But here comes Stealth going forward, flashes onto Aceco, looking for that execute damage, not quite finding it. Unfortunately, Fromoth flashes forward into the root, and now Aceco goes in a little bit too deep, does trade 1-for-1 for the enemy Viego. Stealth is going to grab himself another kill, and now 3 members of Purple Cobras are finding themselves against 2 members of Destiny. But it's their 2 most fed members, so they're standing their ground fairly well. And now it's a 2-on-2, Stealth and Cantankerous Jim against Prodigium and Ardmona. Endome has rejoined the fight, looking to maybe land this hook. 1 hook on Ardmona will be surely death. We'll see if he's able to pull it off. Does decide to back off, head down to this bot side, stop DST Garn from pushing into their bot side tier 3 as well. And Kiritine is going to use all this pressure to take top side, so Destiny are just winning right across the map.
Yeah, they're definitely not able to really get anything on the map. They're just being starved at this point, and they're all inside their base, and Viego, with his stealth ability, is able just to clear out some sort of camps, but yeah, 23-9 scoreboard at the moment, and the gold lead is ballooning even more. Just looking at the itemization across the board, what do you think of Syndra's starting item going for Ludens? Do you think that is pretty meta, or
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Finally going to take this Ocean Drake by the looks.
Luden's probably her best mythical. Gives her much needed wave clear that she doesn't really have compared to a lot of mages. Also gives her some nice burst damage on her combo. But here we go. Fromoth showing why Viego is a broken champion.
Whoa.
Absolutely deletes DST Guard.
1k.
Does swap into that Syndra. Going forward onto Ardmona now. The barrier is popped, but he still might have to kill. Oh, big combo by Prodigium. But here we go. That's going to be another kill going down in the top side. Endome is getting taken down by Prodigium. But Fromoth is just running an absolute clinic right now. Keratine's going to go down as well. Fromoth stays alive, and now Stealth is running for his life as the final member. Aceco, don't miss this Q.
He doesn't need to hit it.
No, he might have to. Oh, he's so insecure. He's so insecure. That is the most insecure Lee Sin ult I've ever seen in my life. That man was shaking in his boots.
This guy. Oh. Could have finished him in so many ways, but decided to land the ultimate. But I guess you got to hit it, so...
Cantankerous Jim is just getting absolutely one-tapped. Is he going to die? He dies to Prodigium's turrets. Oh my goodness. This is insane. Heimerdinger, 25 Magi stacks at 19 minutes, putting on an absolute Heimerdinger clinic right now.
I'm interested to see what he's going to buy.
It's going to be the Zhonya's looking at the items here. Ooh, Endome goes forward. DST Guard forced to flash away, but here comes Pantheon. They take down a kill, but Unleashed Power doing most of Fromoth's health there. Syndra showing why Syndra is a champion. Endome might be getting collapsed on here by Aceco. Has a Sonic Wave coming up right about now, and there it is, and he is going to take him down using that Black Cleaver shred. Well, not Black Cleaver, actually. He doesn't even have Black Cleaver. I don't know what that sound was then. Might have been Conqueror getting fully stacked
Gold
up.
Drinker.
Ooh, Nervous is also about to get deleted.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like Destiny putting up the finishing touches and the Donga just being untouchable at the moment, opting to go for the Everfrost on
is very, very strong right now. We'll see if he's able to do any work. They do have the Herald, actually.
They're looking for the end
under the mid lane tower. Endome is going to miss the hook.
Oh no, Blitz!
Keratine does go with the set ulti there. They're looking to kill Fromoth, but he does pop the Diego ultimate. No, he does go down, and that's going to be their most fed player out of the equation, which means that's likely going to be the game. Not quite as fast as Jewpies Angels, but
are they going to get a Dancing Herald?
A respectable 20 minutes. And yeah, exactly. They did do something that Jewpies Angels were not able to do, and that's have a Dancing Herald at the end of their game. Stealth trying to stop the inevitable from happening, but it's not possible. And there we go, the Dancing Shelly. Look at it in all its glory. Beautiful game there for sure, but we are going to hop right out of that one. Throw it over to our standings now. What are your thoughts about that game, Strider? How do you think that one could have gone a little bit different?
The draft wasn't that bad coming out of Purple Cobras. I feel like the only thing they could have done differently was probably not take Blitz into such a matchup. But then again, they took the Blitz away, so they just got counterpicked by the looks of it, unfortunately. But besides that...
I'm not going to lie, Endome really does seem to love these kind of champions like the Thresh, like the Blitzcrank. I mean, that's well and good if you really do enjoy those champions, if there's something that you really enjoy playing. But I think, you really do have to ask yourself, like, am I winning my team the game on this pick? Because Blitzcrank, you have to really be landing those hooks at the right time, really be putting on the pressure to make the pick worthwhile. And it's very one-dimensional. Thresh is very high skill ceiling, very hard to execute him well. Prodigium has probably hundreds, if not thousands of games on that champion, well known for his Thresh, and he still makes mistakes sometimes. So definitely is a champion that is not easy, and Endome being one of the newer players, I would say, to the game in the tournament, really, really in these upcoming Purple Cobra games, I really would love to see the team start experimenting with like the Soraka, with the Yuumi, those kind of very easy but extremely high impact supports that you could stick Endome on, and he'd probably have a much easier time really influencing the game on those picks rather than having to put so much pressure on him to land these game-winning hooks that, he doesn't need to have that pressure on him in that situation. You can just draft a little bit differently and not have to worry about that. But, I mean, in this game specifically, he did pick the Blitz blind without Morgana being banned, but, Morgana isn't even the only counter pick, as we've seen. Locked in the Heimerdinger, and those turrets were just used to absolutely bully Blitzcrank, deny him those hook angles, just standing behind the minions, standing behind the turrets, and made it very difficult for him, while Heimerdinger and Senna just pushed them under tower and poked them out of lane constantly. until a bit of a dive came down from Lee Sin and, really started snowballing things in their favor. So I don't know. Other than that, do you want to move to MVPs, or do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
I think that was pretty much the gist of the game. They did have a bit of glimmer of hope coming out of Viego and Nasus, but the goal deficit was just too big. But I'm happy to go to MVP and SVPs.
I think MVP of the game has really got to go over to Prodigium. He played that game so cleanly, made basically no mistakes. I think, Purple Cobras, a team of new players really playing against kind of seasoned veterans, Destiny. And all of them kind of fumbled and got cheesed out a little bit, got caught out a little bit, underestimated their opponents at one stage or another, except for Prodigium. He played very, very consistently cleanly. 25 Magi stacks consistently, didn't drop them the whole game. So, unless you have any objections, I think Prodigium's a definite surefire winner on that one.
Pretty straightforward. DST guard just has to flash and ult and get kills. Ardmona just does center things, and yeah, I feel like the Donga outperformed everyone else on his team by a fair margin.
Just looking at the damage here, absolutely. But as for SVP on the enemy team, who do you think you want to give that over to? I think Viego was definitely kind of the shining star of that performance by far. Frometh really made some clutch picks, was kind of shredding through a lot of Destiny at some points of the game, but unfortunately not enough to turn it in their favor. But he didn't go down without a fight. And Cantankerous Jim also played fairly well, and so did Stealth, but I feel like their plays were just all off the back of Frometh.
Yeah, he definitely made some good ganks on the top side and their blue side jungle, and just punished DST for overextending, looking for more kills and stuff. So yeah, Viego definitely showing why that champion is very strong at the moment, to say the least. So I'm happy with that SV pick for their jungle. All
right, well, congratulations to our winners. But folks, we are going to throw it over to a little bit of music, and then we're going to be back for our final game for round 3. And that is going to be, I believe, between Jewpies Angels and Casuarina Gentlemen. So stay tuned.
I think it's Spaceship, I believe. Corona Spaceship.
I was told Casuarina Gentlemen. I'll have to double check on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's Casuarina Gentlemen against Jewpies Angels. But regardless, that one is going to be kicking off at 5 o'clock. So we will see you all then. And until then, we're going to throw it over to some music.
All right, see you soon.
And welcome back, folks, to our final game for round 3. It's going to be Casuarina Gentlemen against none other than Jewpies Angels. And it looks like we've got a little bit of summoner icon matching going on in the lobby. I'll have to show you all that when we get into loading screen, I suppose. But it's looking very fancy. Rully and Polio being the only member of the lobby to not match with his team. How are we doing? I'm, again, Jackson Cadius, and I'm here with Chris Strider on the casting desk for this final game. And what are you expected to see here? Oh, there we go. Really, Polio has changed over. We've got a beautiful 5 matching summoner icons against 5 matching summoner icons. You love to see it.
Beautiful.
So what are we expecting out of this one? Are these teams that you maybe have some scrim experience with on this patch, maybe?
CG, they've definitely gotten a lot better since their first week. They've shown that they have learnt and they know what works for them. Hopefully they'll be able to pull it off today, but the expectation is, it looks like a Jewpies are going to definitely experiment in this game. We'll just see what they actually pick, but if they just go for their standard picks, we'll just have to wait and see. It's going to be pretty hard to actually gauge it until we actually get into draft, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Well, Casuarina Gentlemen, obviously, it's definitely not the best sign when you're going against Jewpies Angels and the lowest elo player on your team is the mid laner. That's very, 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 very suspect. So hopefully they just kind of draft something very safe in the mid lane for him, like a Malzahar, and just kind of play like get out of lane without feeding Blood Exa sort of dealio. But nevertheless, we are going to hopefully start as soon as we get into game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in draft, because we've seen teams not ban Fiddlesticks and get wiped by Alpha Arcasia constantly, so keen to see if maybe we have a team that, you know, might actually ban Fiddlesticks and have to have Alpha Arcasia play something that can't just pop out of Fog of War and win for free. So we'll see how that one goes.
He definitely does love that champion, but just waiting to see what Frogspotter can actually counterpick into Alpha Arcasia, probably being the best jungle in the scene at the moment. So it'd be interesting to see that matchup.
And looks like we are going to be starting any second, just really reorganizing our roles here. And they are asking for the ready check. Ready check has been called, which means we're about to hop into champ select.
Let's do it.
First ban here for Team Casuarina Gentlemen.
We're going to see who they're going to target ban or just ban very strong picks, knowing that Jewpies definitely play a lot of champions, so it's very hard to gauge.
I don't think you can ban Bloodex's champ pool out, but you can definitely ban Alpha Arcasia's to a degree. So I'd like to see a little bit of pressure there. Gangplank getting taken off the board. I know Riley and Polio does favor that champion a little bit. Gangplank, though, not a champ that is particularly very good at the moment. Definitely a lot of top laners that are a lot better than Gangplank. He just kind of, you know, after the item rework, he's just not that great with the new items compared to some champs, so he's fallen out of favor a little bit. I want to see the Fiddlesticks get taken away here. I'm going to be very upset if they actually let it through again.
See if they let it through. They're definitely thinking about it. And the Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank is going to be the ban, which means this could be a first phase Fiddlesticks once again. I gotta say, if they let Fiddlesticks through and Fiddlesticks is going to be the result of them losing,
but we'll see.
Are they going to do the pick away Fiddlesticks? I'll be very impressed if they do.
But they might actually opt for Sejuani here, knowing that Frogspotter does love that champion, but they may pick up 80 carry just depending on condition as champ pool, but the Nasus, eh? Okay.
Nasus getting taken away for Bin Laden. I mean, very strong champion, but I think blind pick Nasus is a little bit risky.
It is, and we did see something last game where he was punished to a degree, but they're looking for center here.
Into being weak side top, which is a little bit problematic.
Yeah, if he can get to his power spike with Hullbreaker and Chains, it would be pretty hard to stop him with two people going to the top side, but hopefully he can get to that stage with his stacks. But Senna, being the late game scaling champion that she is definitely going to help Jewpies ensure that they can peel off that Nasus, so to speak.
And this is exactly why Nasus is a bit of a risky pick. The Wukong, one of his worst matchups, going to be locked away right away. Wukong very good at bullying, especially AD top laners, extremely proficient at it. He just gets so much health regen and so much damage from that passive, and he's very impressive. Hecarim gonna get locked in here, actually. I mean, if they're not gonna ban Fiddlesticks away, maybe it's because they actually are just confident playing into it, but we'll see.
Yeah, bit of a risky move, leaving it open, but
Nunu is gonna be the pick.
Is that gonna be a Nunu mid? I'm wondering. Does look like it.
I mean, we talked about a champion that kind of doesn't have a lot of interaction with Bloodexer, and Nunu mid is one of those. You know, you one-shot the mid-wave, and then roam, and then one-shot the mid-wave, and then roam.
Yeah, I guess roaming with the horse helps.
You don't actually mid-lane a whole lot. You don't really even need to CS. You just kind of run around the map ganking while clearing mid with snowballs, so...
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes, but Bloodexer going to be taking away the Sylas, and that is, looking at that team, quite scary, because he is going to have, Fury of the Sands to steal away, which does, I believe, put Sylas's chains onto a 1-second cooldown.
Yep.
And then he also can steal, obviously, Charge of Darkness, which one of the best team fighting ultimates in the game. Unstoppable AoE fear.
Yeah, besides the Alistair ultimate, yeah, Charge of Darkness is pretty good, even with Fiddlesticks ult as well.
Tons of damage as well, 100% AP scaling on that ability, which we don't normally see because of Hecarim's builds that he goes, but when Sylas steals it with a full AP build, that Hecarim ult will nuke you in a team fight.
Yeah, I have been practicing Sylas, so I know what it's like to steal those kind of ultimates, and it's very disgusting if you can take Hecarim ult, Fiddle ult, or Alistair ult. There seem to be top tier ults at the moment to steal. Oh, Vayne and Jinx taken out. Okay. Targeting the AD carry.
Yeah, they are just taking away Jinx and Vayne right now, really trying to attack those hyper-scaling AD carries that are very good at dealing with kind of the tanky team, the tanky frontline team that they've assembled here. Kog'Maw is still on the board, though. They do have Senna, but Senna Kog'Maw is a bit of a weak lane, bit of a non-bow that you don't want to lock that one in. And now we're looking at the jungle hovers.
Oh, they've
is
definitely
Viego
and Sylas in the same game.
Viego is great into this team. Viego very good at, dealing with these kind of tankier champions. You have a lot of percent health damage. And more importantly, when you kill them, not only do you heal a bunch, but if you're turning into these tanky champions, these tanky frontline champions, all of a sudden, you're just this tank that's very hard to kill, but then you can pop out with your Viego ultimate and blow someone up at a second's notice. So very scary, but Draven getting locked in for Conditioner here in the bot side.
Wouldn't we be surprised if they picked up Nautilus or Leona here to round things off?
Leona would be beautiful, but they do have to be wary. Morgana is still available on the board. They do actually just want to take
being smart
Lulu
with their
away
picks.
here.
Wow, okay.
Lulu is very good into this this team comp. They basically have 3 melee dive champions. Lulu very good at dealing with that.
No, they don't lock in Alistair versus Sylas.
This is obviously going to be a Morgana lock-in.
No way, they just locked in the Alistair ultimate into Sylas. I actually want to watch this game quite intently now. Alistair broken on Sylas.
Surely this is a Morgana lock-in, right? If they don't pick it like Morgana here, they're probably just trolling. You've got Hecarim, you've got Nunu, you've got Alistair. This is Morgana's wet dream. Surely you lock it. No, he's going Ziggs.
No. So that tells me that's a Sylas bot lane.
No, that's going to be Senna.
Oh no,
it's
Ziggs, sorry.
Senna
Yeah,
Ziggs, yeah.
Senna Ziggs, sorry, yeah. But Sylas able to take any powerful ultimate coming out of CG. Oh, that's disgusting. What are your thoughts on the draft?
Might actually be. I thought it was just going to be like Ziggs 80 carry with a fasting Senna, but apparently it's not. Apparently it's going to be Wukong Senna, which is very interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
Liam has definitely been playing Ziggs. So.
Challenger Jay does like playing these kind of off-meta melee champs in these roles. We saw him pull out Master Yi, 80 carry, a couple games ago, so could be interesting.
That was against us, unfortunately.
But I mean, it is good into the Alistair. You're a champion that, is fairly difficult to engage on. You can use the W to avoid his combo somewhat.
So the fact that I just can't get over this Sylas able to take Hecarim ult, Nasus ult, and Alistair ult all in the same game is quite unheard of. They definitely have a lot more angles to play these team fights with those ultimates, so I'm interested to see in this Silas Nasus matchup.
I'm not gonna lie, I really was hoping we were gonna see an intelligent support pick here. Janna, Lulu would have been absolutely
Lulu, definitely.
so good. Janna or Lulu, just super strong, especially like Lulu. Karma would have been decent as well. Just any champion that makes it really difficult for melees to get on top of your carries. Just pair it with this Draven. They would have been able to play Draven into Senna, which is a terrible matchup for Senna, by the way. Draven just runs in, chucks a few axes at Senna's head, and 9 times out of 10, there's no way that Senna wins that trade, unless you trade very stupidly. But they went for Alistar instead, which opened them up for a complete counterpick with Morgana, but they, I guess, didn't end up going for it. I would have loved to just see the Senna Morgana and then just put the Wukong top with the Sylas mid here. But that's not what they ended up going for. I guess it makes sense putting the Ziggs against the Nunu, because Nunu's going to be roaming around a lot, and Ziggs is maybe the most oppressive pushing champion in the game, with his ability to execute towers, his ability to one-shot waves. So we'll see how he gets work done on that pick, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess because of his buff to Zigzol, it does travel faster, so he's able to respond a bit more accordingly if, for example, Hecarim or Nunu look for players on bottom top side of the map. So, yeah, it's going to be all on this Draven to try and outplay this Wukong Senna with Alistar. Probably be what CG will have to go for to get him ahead.
I mean, I think this is a really risky bot lane by Jewpies Angels. If they, like, Superman just has to smack head at Senna, and they will win like every time. There's no way they don't, right? Like, you land Alistar combo into stun onto Senna, Draven like is wailing at her with axes, you drop the ignite, Senna's just gonna die. I don't think Wukong, maybe after level 6, but pre-6 Wukong, I don't think he's killing a Draven fast enough to stop Senna from dying.
So I'm really liking CG's draft besides the support pick. But
yeah, definitely. I think like you have Nunu, you have Hecarim, you already have like these engaged champions. You have Nasus as this kind of like big, heavy frontline threat, and then you've got this Draven, which is going to be like a large amount of your damage, and you're having to have Draven play into Sylas, Viego, Wukong, all these dive melee champions. Just pick something that can peel your backline, peel your Draven. Just pick the Lulu, pick the Janna. Like, even Soraka would have been decent, though probably like to a lesser degree, but Soraka, you know, has a really terrible matchup into Senna because Senna is able to, you know, match your healing to a degree, but also has...
eventually get outscaled,
has just way more scaling than you do, and, you know, not being able to pressure the Senna early is scary, but, you know, Lulu and Janna, very good kind of poke mages in lane, same with Karma, while also being very good at disengaging. And Lulu especially is very broken right now. I'm
really broken.
Surprised we actually have not seen. I think she's good in the support role only into... let me really quickly, before we get into game, hold on. I don't even have the team names changed yet, but I want to make sure that everyone's able to see this loading screen so that you can see all you can see all the runes going on. Maybe let me just change this real quick. So we do have Jewpies Angels.
But I'm really liking CG's draft for once. I feel like they've drafted decently. The Nunu pick, I'm not sold on just yet, but I can see why they picked it. And the Alistar pick into Sylas is a big no-no, but they got to get going in the bot lane to get this Draven going. And he opted to go for Hail of Blades over PTA. Now, is there something I'm missing here, Cadius?
Hail of Blades is better on Draven.
Oh, is he? Okay. Bit out of touch on the bot lane, so
PTA is I don't know. I feel like it's
a generically safe option to pick. Or
the thing about Draven is it's very rare that you're landing like 3 auto attacks in trades. Usually you're usually getting your 2 axes, you're running in, you're kind of just chucking both your axes and then just running away. Because there's no ADCs in the game really that can kind of do anything about that sort of a trade, and Hail of Blades just lets you just chuck those axes very quickly and run away, whereas PTA is, I don't know, I think it's a matchup thing, but I know for a fact that my kind of friends that are, I know like a few high elo Draven mains. I don't know why. I just seem to know like I just seem to know people that play that champion in high elo specifically more than like other champions, but they all love their Halo Blades, so I know that is the one that gets picked.
Before we get started, would you like to do a shout out to our sponsors, Cadius?
Of course, shout out to our major sponsors as always. And those are going to be McDonald's, Darwin, obviously Paul's Iced Coffee as well.
Paul's Iced Coffee.
And the Northern Territory government themselves. So big shout outs, of course. Northern Territory government had a very busy week. So shout outs especially to them for all their hard work getting us through the lockdown. And all nice and safe. Not that it would have affected this wonderful tournament we've got going on here at all, but you know, we've got other stuff. We've got the fighting games that it would have probably gotten in the way of if
keeping
it
us
lasted
safe
too long.
in general. Yeah,
just keeping us safe in general, making sure it doesn't get out of hand. So big shout outs to them. And we are about to get this game underway.
A bit of dancing shenanigans in the middle.
Our Dream to Meme.
Oh, okay.
Guess the Dream to Meme wants to reconnect. Might be having
maybe
some
a bit of
issues.
FPS issues, yeah. But it looks like pretty standard start coming out of Casuarina Gentleman here, and just covering all bases of the jungle entrances, making sure there's no cheeky invades. But Dream to Meme has finally connected back in, and yeah, just the chat going a bit cheeky at the moment.
I have chat off, so.
Yeah. All right, so pretty standard start coming out of the Heck Room here. I'm interested to see if Viego will actually opt to invade him at his blue, but with the recent buffs to Heck Room, I feel like he might be a bit stronger if he has his stacked Q. Viego won't be able to take that trade. But
he actually screwed up
Jigs,
the level 1. You were meant to one-shot the range creeps with that first snowball there, but he let go of W a little bit too early. That's really disastrous, actually, for Nunu's game plan of getting that, like, level 1 roam to a side lane, one-shotting the wave and going for an immediate level 1 roam. So that game plan's going to be disrupted by him not knowing the champion too well, I suppose.
Yeah, it's going to probably take some time to get used to the Nunu mid. It's not completely unorthodox, but it definitely simple mechanics you have to actually iron out if you want to make those key roams to the scuttles.
I mean, Alistair's not auto-attacking this wave, which is unfortunate. I do want to see him...
They're a bit nervous already.
I do want to see him be auto-attacking that wave to hit level 2 first. And Malix is just getting poked in the mid lane. As you would expect, but, you know, normally you wouldn't have to deal with that because you'd be roaming at that level 1 and not having to actually lane against Ziggs. In addition to actually going in a fight, level 1 to level 2, that's probably not wise. They are going to actually take a lot of damage for that.
And Malik's getting bullied quite severely. They do have a chance to freeze here slightly if they play their cards right, but I'm pretty sure they're going to get shoved in at this stage.
Yeah, just going to heal up on this Draven, see what they can get done. But I'm kind of worried for this Draven because he has basically no peel on this team for him, really, against these very dive-heavy melees. So we'll see what he's able to do. You know, if he's able to play Draven like an absolute god, then who knows? But looking at him running in for a trade, level 1 to level 2,
it's looking rough.
My hope in him isn't the highest, put it that way. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, it's early days. Nothing's really happened. Everyone's just farming and taking it easy at the moment. But yeah, overall, the jungle is going from very passive starts, just going for basic full clears and scuttles. Ekram going to be clearing this blue side scuttle.
Maybe hovering for a gank top side, we'll see. Silas does have that ward there to protect him. Bin Laden's actually almost already. I wonder why. I haven't really been watching his mana expenditure, but being that low on mana...
Nasus actually wins that trade if he follows, yeah. He did have potion ticking, could have got the first blood.
Hecarim actually going in with the ghost, but finding no success.
Didn't get behind.
I do want to see Nasus maybe getting a very early...
Oh, they could get his flash if they really wanted, but...
I do want to see Nasus going for that very, very early Bramble Vest to kind of counteract some of this healing on the side.
And that just seems to be the OP item at the moment. It's just a free healing reduction item at 800 gold. And
it used to be a lot better because you could go Ninja Tab into Bramble Vest because the damage reflection on Bramble Vest used to not be flat. It used to scale on your bonus armor. So if you went Ninja Tab Bramble, it would make the reflect do like quite a lot more. And you would obviously also be having auto attack damage reduction. And it basically meant that every time like someone would auto-attack you at that stage in the game, you'd almost be doing more damage to them than they were doing to you. Plus, you would just have your damage as well on top of that. So it made like Bramblevest Ninja Tab Eyes be really unskilled, very oppressive into a lot of matchups, especially me as someone who does play AD top laners.
Especially for AD carries.
Got ruined by that.
Oh, unlucky.
Superman is actually going to scrub the Alistair combo there, and Challenge for Jade is going to get shoved around a little bit. They're just going to be able to walk it out. Superman kind of fumbling the bag a little bit, my boy. Fumbling the bag indeed. And
Would have been a kill, potentially. Yeah.
He's going to, unfortunately, probably regret that one. Malix might die here, actually.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Malix is definitely dead. Unless he flashes. Does not flash, for whatever reason.
He just held it.
He was holding it stalwart there. Did not want to let go of that one. He's saving it for next game.
Yeah, I'm sure. Doing the classic double lift tactic. Got to save it. But he could have flashed probably 8 and Smite might have killed Blade XR there. He probably just didn't see the play, unfortunately. Because he had no mana after he threw that bomb. So it was definitely a weird trade for Blade XR to not see that, but also Malik's not seeing it as well.
Bin Laden is just really respecting Polio. Maybe a little bit more than he should. I won't lie. I think Silas is a silly champ, honestly.
He is.
This champ just does so much damage. I've played against him in the mid lane, and I'm thinking like, all right, you know, Silas, if he lands his E on you, then he'll like blow you up, but like as long as I don't get hit by that E, I should be fine. And then he'll like dash into the middle of my minion wave, auto attack me, aggro all my creeps, miss his E, and then proceed to like smack like WQ auto and like absolutely nearly delete me. No kills to his name, by the way, like 000, like level 3, level 4, and just takes like a terrible trade and still wins it. I'm like, what is going on here? That champion just very silly. I don't know if he's been nerfed since then, but like, look at this.
Yeah.
What is
Nasus
this?
actually wins this if he plays this right.
Yeah, he does have the Fury of the Sands that he's stolen away from Nasus to help him out a little bit. He's going to go in. Rillian Polio should be able to land this kill. Does have the flash Q available. Might not even need to use it. Bin Laden actually, Fury of the Sands is worn off.
If he lets him heal up enough.
Nah, he's
Not
just going to
quite.
get taken down. Malix is going to get absolutely tapped by
Holds
Lexa in
flash
the mid
once
lane.
again.
He holds flash again. He's holding onto it for next game, I'm telling you.
All right, I'll hold you to that, Jackson. But now 3 kills finally coming on the board for Jewpies, and showing that the Ziggs here is not being punished. Already tripled the CS of Malix's Nunu, unfortunately, and not roaming whatsoever. So going against what we were advising in Champ Select, just not able to do much, unfortunately.
Yeah, again, like, I don't know, Superman, I don't know what it is about, like, NT supports that are just really allergic to playing Enchanters. Like, they're really good, guys. Play Enchanter supports. They're really strong. They require a lot less effort than playmaking supports, so especially if you're any rank below Diamond, you will probably have more success playing an Enchanter support 90% of the time.
Yeah, so for some reason we do love the Nautilus Blitzes, Threshers up here, and Alistairs, but yeah, we don't see the Nunus, Sorakas, Namis, or even Jannas up here. It's just a bit unfortunate, but I guess the heavy engage is what we're addicted to up here at the moment. The fact that we have a Senna and Wukong bot lane and it's actually kind of working. I'm not sure if it's about the ranking discrepancy, but I feel like Superman has missed key engages that kind of could have turned the tide a little bit. But a bit of engage here coming out.
Alpha Arcade coming in onto Malix. They're just bullying the Silver 2 mid laner here.
Oh, nice combo.
He's just going to get absolutely taken down there. And Alpha Arcade does have Nunu, actually.
Held flash once again. I
Yeah,
take your word for that, Jackson. Yeah.
He's just not going to flash this game. He actually has his F key unbound. He doesn't have it bound in the settings.
Oh. Okay. And I'm waiting for this Hecarim to enter the scene here. He does have Ghost and Ultimate up.
Yeah, he really does have to start putting some pressure on these lanes, otherwise they're just going to snowball out of control. If I was Hecarim in this situation, I would just be trying to put as much pressure on bot lane as I possibly can, because it's kind of your only lane that, you know, they're behind, but they're not, like, super behind. And, I mean, Nasus is kind of like, it's one of those lanes where it doesn't really matter what you do to this Nasus lane, because it's just going to, like, he's not really going to be able to snowball ahead of Silas, per se. Really? Where, like, he's just going to scale ahead of Silas by himself. And Silas shouldn't really be able to kill Nasus 1v1 normally.
unless Nasus makes a big mistake and overstays. But this bot lane, you really want to get this Draven a kill. You want to get that passive cashed in. Snowballing Draven is just going to put you so ahead in this game, I feel.
Yeah, hopefully they recognize that soon. But Nunu just stagnant in this mid lane at the moment, and Hecarim just full clearing jungle.
Yeah,
it's just looking a bit rough.
It's one of those things, dude, where like Nunu is just like, you pick Nunu mid to roam, right? Like you don't lane with Nunu mid. You pick him to insta clear the wave with a snowball. Superman is just really fumbling the bag, man. But here comes Frog Spotter, though. They might be able to maybe get something done with the challenge for Jade. It's going to be close. The Ignite does drop. He comes in. Ziggs ult, though, from downtown. Conditioner, 1 health to his name. 1 more auto attack will do it. And he is taken down. And now Superman forced to run away. Ziggs with a huge play. And they're going to find themselves trading 2 kills for 2 on the bot side. But Bin Laden now finding himself in a 1v2 situation. Brilliant Polio stealing away that Fury of the Sands. And not enough damage onto Alpha Arcasia, I'm afraid. He's going to go down. And I believe they are going to look to grab some plates in the top side as well.
And I think that comes with a saying, finally pick on someone your own size. Silo's taking Nasus' ult there and just showing him who's boss. But nah, Viego's side of snowballing is definitely a scary thought, to say the least. But Liam once again with the 3 kills on Ziggs, throwing that Ziggs bomb and getting there within 2 seconds is just shows it's been buffed considerably.
I actually didn't know that Ziggs ult got buffed like that, but I've not seen like Ziggs be able to just ult from literally from mid lane at level 6.
It came by pretty quick. I was quite surprised when it dropped.
Did they buff the range? I don't remember Ziggs ult being able to go that far at level 1.
Trying to remember now. I think it's the same range as TF ult, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
so
that's
it does
crazy.
go a fair way.
He just absolutely threw that from downtown. But looks like Conditioner is getting collapsed on. A little bit of damage from Wukong. A little love tap. Nice little third of his health.
If they saw he used clone, that was their chance. But
yeah, Frog Spotter is going in with the Ghost, but that's just not going to be a successful gank, bro. But they do push this one in.
Oh, they're popping the Rift here.
The Rift Herald, trying to get some pressure on this bot lane tower, and Frog Spotter is kind of actually doing a really good job of identifying, you know, he does just have to put the pressure on this bot lane, but Alpha Arcasia is here to play.
Oh no.
Malix is getting Q will do the trick, and he's going to go down. Bloodexer is 4-0 on the Ziggs, just putting on the clinic.
He's holding steadfast with those summoner spells, that's for sure. I respect it. The fact that is he level 6 yet? I'm pretty sure he is. Oh no.
Bin Laden flashing on the Bloodexer. I don't think he realizes he's 2 levels down on the Ziggs. He's probably not going to do a lot of damage. Fury of the Sands pop nonetheless, though.
The flash.
Does actually force the flash out of Bloodexer. And here we go. Viego is probably going to clean this one up nicely.
Snowball coming out once again. But unfortunately, just not able to punish this bot lane, able to get to level 6 and above for potentially free.
It's very obvious
taking
that
his jungle.
Malix does not know how to play this pick. Just like fundamentally, like he doesn't know like why, like what Nunu is good at doing. Ooh, that's very bad. He actually does go down to the Ignite. Nice. William Polio here though does have that Charge of Darkness available if need be.
Yeah. You guessed and he guessed wrong. But yeah, looking very rough for CG at the moment, just not able to utilize their composition completely, but I guess they're just a bit nervous at this stage, just not sure what to do when they have minimal vision, and a few unsuccessful ganks in the bot lane has put their team considerably behind. 8k gold lead going to Jewpies at the moment.
Just try to steal away that dragon with the axes, but not able to grab them with the Whirling Death. Unfortunate.
And Nasus is finally able to get some plates here in the top lane. Should be able to get through for free here.
Yeah, he's going to do so much work. He does have 5 seconds, though, to grab this next plate. We'll see if he gets it in time.
Oh, he's going to greed? No, he's not going to greed. All right, he's going to back off here. Is he going to get punished there?
Yeah, Alpha Arcasia actually is chasing him down. No, he's not. He's going to back off.
All right. But unfortunately, that has revealed the blue is up for Casuarina, gentlemen, and he might potentially get picked here. But it also could be an overextension coming out of Jewpies. But that ultimate doing so much damage.
Frog Spotter going huge. Superman, though, is in the middle of things here. Malik's going to get taken down likely by Silas. That's going to be 1 for Rilliam Polio, 2 for Rilliam Polio. Bin Laden getting chased down by Bloodexer. The slow is going to miss, but he might not even need it. Superman is just getting bullied. That Alistair ultimate available on Silas if need be.
Oh, these bombs are just accurate. Oh.
Conditioner getting solo kill in the bot side, yeah. And out Bin Laden. Not much he can do here. He's just going to get taken down by Alpha Arcasia. That Silas has a few attack speed items to his name, so you're probably not going to miss that one. Why is Casuarina Gentleman CGG? Random question. I believe they're Casuarina Gentleman Gaming. That's just not in their logo.
Yeah, Casuarina Gentleman is just their abbreviation for their CG, but yeah, definitely looking a bit rough.
I think the second G does come from like them being Casuarina Gentleman Gaming.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Like, because I know that they're CGG like in their logo and their name.
Yeah, okay. Forgot about that. Jewpies is looking to pressure this bot lane now. The tower is quite low, so they might all rotate for that one. Not much else to do on the map at this point in time. But they could catch someone potentially out here. They're quite overextended. Hopefully the Salister and Hecarim would be able to see something.
Oh, it does look like it is just a bit of a...
Well, here we go.
I don't know why he's going in for a solo kill here. I don't think Frogspotted wins that. Short little charge of darkness there to get him off his head. And now Superman, level 7, is probably going to get deleted here. Oh, flash forward from William Polio to get the kill onto Alistar. 6-0 on the Silas now. 14 stacks on the Medjais.
Oh, here we go.
Very scary stuff.
Nunu Snowball
does land on Brilliant Polio. Malik's walking forward, stuns his ADC. Oh no, bit of miscommunication there. Malik's trolling conditioner.
Oh, he's going to die the tower.
Does die the tower though. That is finally a bit of gold over to Draven.
That is 1k plus to the 80 carry.
He actually did finish his shield bow off of that, which is nice to see.
But Hecarim looking for a bit of engage here. Might just get punished for it. Oh, nice knockup finally from Superman. But it's not going to be enough.
Oh, here we go. Nunu coming in. They're looking for the kill onto challenge for Jay, but there's Ziggs is in the back just chucking bombs. He's just chucking bombs. Casuarina Gentleman might have Bin Laden by name on their team, but look at this Ziggs. He is the real Bin Laden in this game. My goodness, putting on an absolute show.
KP. Oh.
6-0 and 12. You're right. I just realized he absolutely is massive. 18 KP out of 22. What can I say?
Damn. Yeah.
Bloodxa, I mean, flawless KDA. Really, really pressuring, but I mean, he also was playing against the lowest elo player on the team. I don't know, Nunu mid is just like, you need to play him in like one specific way, and Malik's just absolutely did not play him in that way at all.
Yep.
You don't mid lane on Nunu mid. You insta-clear level 1 wave with a snowball, and then you leave and you snowball to a side lane, and then you maybe come back mid and you snowball the wave again, and then you leave and you snowball to a side lane. You're going to be down on CS and XP to your enemy mid laner every single game, but that doesn't matter, because the point of the pick is that you are like snowballing your side lanes like crazy constantly and getting fed with kills. That's how you play the champion, but I don't know, he's not getting played that way in this game.
Oh, nice showing.
Big ultimate though, Charge of Darkness, but I don't know, there's nothing really to cast here. They're just absolutely stat checking like crazy. There's just no way that Casuarina Gentleman can win a fight at this point. They're gonna get taken down.
They're gonna get the Dancing Rift just to respond to Destiny.
Oh, true, they actually did get the Dancing Rift though. The Dancing Shelly. Love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Bada bing, bada boom.
Unfortunately, the support of Casuarina Gentleman fumbling the bag a little bit with those Alistar combos. Again, I don't know, man, why these like lower elo support players try to pick these aggressive playmaking supports, especially into compositions like theirs where maybe doesn't matter too heavily. Like that you need engage. Like, you've got the Hecarim, you've got the Nunu. Just pick some peel. Just pick some peel in the support role. That's what you need in your comp to flex it out, you know? Pick some peel. Or, you know, maybe pick, like, if you want a little bit of extra damage, maybe, which I don't think this comp really needs, but, you know, you could have picked, like a Zyra or something.
Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah, I don't know, the Alistar pick, a little bit strange. Just really allergic to enchanters. I think the only enchanter that people want to play is Senna.
Yeah.
And you'd be hard-pressed to call her an enchanter.
We did see Seraphine in our game with Destiny, but I think that's the only enchanter in the entire
Did see Seraphine. Seraphine's very good as well. Seraphine's extremely strong, but again, she's a little bit more on that kind of engage side with that ultimate, which I don't think they really needed. I think Janna or Lulu definitely would have been
It's a
picked
proper
there.
enchanter.
And
yeah.
Lulu and Karma are like super broken champs as well. You can blind pick Lulu Karma like phase 1, and both those champions can get played top, mid, support very well. Seraphine can also get played like mid support as well. You can even put Seraphine and Karma into the kind of AP carry, like ADC, feasting center type role as well, and have very good success building them that way. Like getting a very fast Moonstone and a very fast Staff of Flowing Water can just make those champions very oppressive in lane, especially when paired with something like the Senna. So I don't know. I definitely think those champions need to be explored more because, you know, you've got these kind of teams that are picking the Alistairs, picking the Blitzcranks, and then they're just kind of watching the game while the game falls apart. So, you know, because they're very, very, very difficult champions to do anything on when you're behind, right? Like, you need to be ahead on those champions, or like even you need to be able to win fights for those champions to be able to go in and get things done, like initiate a winning fight for your team. If you can't initiate a winning fight, like the champion just doesn't exist, right? So I feel like the other champions, like Enchanter support specifically, need to be explored a lot more by these NT teams. And hopefully, round 4, maybe we start to see a little bit of that.
Yeah, hopefully we do. Hopefully we're going to whip it out next week, but we'll just see how draft plays out with our bot lane. But who do you think our MVPs and SVPs are?
Well, I mean,
Katie's?
looking at the damage graph here, I mean, I again, he was against the Nunu mid player who, like, I guess maybe like heard that Nunu mid was a thing, but had never really played it because
Watch the video, maybe.
yeah, like watched a video that like Nunu mid was good, but didn't actually really know like how to pilot it. So I mean, Bloodx obviously a very good player. You would expect him to bully that lane. I don't know.
think
I don't know.
bully's
What are
an
your thoughts on
understatement
MVPs?
here.
I'm curious about what your thoughts are.
Just the fact that Blade XR was just everywhere. High kill participation, high damage, always pressuring, even when it's not necessary. Just overall, just showing Ziggs is just a very strong utility champion. Always able to be proactive around the map at a moment's notice.
Yeah, definitely.
And just making all the right plays. So it's really hard not to give it to anyone else at this stage. It's just a pretty flawless game coming out of Blade XR.
I do think there was a lot of pressure that was put on Rilliam Polio by Frog Spotter in the early game, and he managed to not die really to any of those ganks. Was able to stay alive for like all of them, and then snowball very heavily. But again, Silas into Nasus, very easy lane for Silas in general, and he did have some help from Alpha Arcasia on top of that to really shut down the Nasus. So I'm happy with giving it to Bloodexa for the MVP for this game as well, but it does feel like Bloodexa is kind of collecting stars with these MVPs a little bit, but I mean, just means that the rest of Jewpies Angels have really got to step up, I suppose. I mean, Alpha Arcasia has snagged one away, I believe, in one of their games.
I think they're all playing good. I just feel like Liam's just playing a bit better. I think that's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, definitely.
I
do agree with the point you were saying about Ziggs being a very good pickup, though. Especially, you know, I think specifically if your mid and AD carry player are able to pilot the champion, or even your support player, and you can put the support player on the Ziggs and then have like a fasting center on your AD carry. I think that like the champion is very, very strong at being able to flex between the mid and the bot lane in that regard. He can play both roles very well. He can fill the AP carry role very well, and can fill the mid lane role very well, as we saw in this game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a lot of champions that definitely need to be picked up a lot more. I think the only team that we're really seeing like have these consistently good compositions every single game that seem to just be not exactly like, oh, X champion is good in solo queue, therefore I'm going to play it here. But kind of drafts that seem to be drafted around a cohesive team with a cohesive game plan and a cohesive game plan of countering the opponent's game plan. The only team that I've seen doing that consistently is Jewpies Angels, being piloted by Bloodexa here in the captain position. So I think it's definitely a far cry that the other teams really do need to work on drafting above all, because I think every single game that I see Jewpies Angels come out of, it doesn't even feel like the players necessarily played like that much better in certain situations. Like, I don't think Challenger for Jade and A Dream to Meme played like exceptionally better than Conditioner or Superman did. Obviously, Superman fumbling the bag on that Alistair a little bit, but I think Conditioner definitely like did really well at not dying. His KDA was actually only like 0-1 or 0-2 for most of the game.
Out of lane. Yeah.
But it was more the fact that like they just put a Wukong bot lane, and Wukong just gets so much base stats from his passive that it's impossible for someone that gets countered by armor so easily as it is, like Draven, to really do anything to him, and the Wukong can just jump on top of him and he'll just die, right? And so, they're building these compositions that just counter the enemy team so well, so nicely. Bloodexer recognizing that Nunu mid, when piloted correctly, obviously Malix didn't pilot it correctly this game, but when you're on the receiving end of Bloodexer and you see the Nunu locked in and you go, okay, well, this is a champion that wants to just leave lane constantly and roam to side lanes constantly and actually spend very little time in the mid lane. All right, well, I'm just going to pick Ziggs, who's just going to be able to shove these waves under tower very fast and then do obscene amounts of tower damage with his passive and his W. So, he just picked that champion in retaliation, and that's what we saw. He was knocking on that tier 2, tier 3 incredibly early into the game, landing a ton of pressure onto Nunu under his tower, pushing in those waves, almost preventing the roams in a way. I really love to see that. And they did lock in the Sylas, they locked in the Ziggs, they locked in the Senna. Just these very, very flexible champions that you can give to not only multiple roles, but multiple players and fill multiple different types of compositions. So just really loving the way that Jewpies Angels are drafting these games above all. I feel like that is the big thing that people need to look at Jewpies Angels for. It's not their gameplay, it's their drafting that is just so ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, they're definitely covering all angles, and they're very flexible in their draft, and it's very hard to outdraft them in general. It's just they've definitely done their research, which is what BladeXR is definitely known for, to say the least. But what are your thoughts on the SVP for CG?
I don't know, really. I don't know. It's tough. I don't think any of them did anything really. I think Bin Laden did get a couple of nice little kills in the top side. I think he managed to land a couple of kills on the Nasus, but it's hard for me to remember really.
Yeah,
he did do the most damage by a long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it'd be unfair. It's definitely close, but I think Bin Laden definitely does deserve this one.
Yeah, just showing that he is proficient on the champion for sure. Not that Nasus is too hard to play, but he did have, good lane awareness, and he did get caught out sometimes. And Hecarim did come to top lane, Viego did come to top lane, and they did hold their own, so to speak, in the first 15 minutes of the game before it started spiraling out of control. But yeah, I'm hard pressed to give it to anyone else besides Bin Laden at this stage for SVP.
Alrighty, folks. Well, before we finish things off, Chris, if there's anything else you want to add before we maybe throw it over to some sponsors and then close out the stream?
Besides Jewpies looking really good at the moment, I feel like the competitive scene up here in the NT has definitely gotten a lot better. A lot more players are being proactive, and it's good to see some healthy competition. And hopefully some of these teams just put in a bit more time and practice so that they can get into drafting and compositions better. We're trying to put in some time as well, but I understand we all have lives to live and such, but that's why we have this competition, so I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Absolutely. I think the number one thing that I want to see coming out of next week is just all of these any support player in the competition that isn't named Prodigium, basically. Anyone that's a support player that's below platinum, I want to see them pulling out the Soraka, pulling out the Lulu, pulling out the Karma, pulling out the Seraphine. And if you do want to play a playmaking support, right? Play Maokai, who's literally point and click. You point and click and you CC them. You don't have to worry about combos or landing a hook or anything. You click W, you root them, you click Q, and you do a ton of damage. Maokai support, probably the best, one of the best engaged supports in the game right now. His ultimate, super good for team fights, very flexible. You build Imperial Mandate on him and just absolutely cause a scene by applying Imperial Mandate to the entire enemy team with your ultimate. And then stuff like Malphite support as well is actually quite good, but I never see anyone here play it. And Malphite can be flexed top, jungle, mid, support, all very easily. Yep. But that champion seems to be very low priority, despite him being extremely good at defeating anybody that's below diamond level play, which is basically everybody in this competition except a few people. So he should really be like a more contested pick in my opinion, but I haven't seen the Malphite picked up. Annie is another one, but I don't know. I understand if people don't want to play Annie because she is very sleeper a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's gonna be. I think it's gonna be enough ranting about drafting
Sure.
and people trying to expand their horizons a little bit. But I'm excited to see what next week brings, and definitely congratulations to all our winners and good job for all the people who maybe lost this week, and hopefully we will see them come back bigger and stronger than ever next week. But until then, let's throw it over to our major sponsors here. We've got none other than our Territory's own Paul's Ice Coffee, celebrating 60 years here in the Territory, as well as the Northern Territory government, and McDonald's Darwin, which is the group responsible for, I believe, the majority of the McDonald's stores in the Darwin and Palmerston areas.
Correct.
So big shout outs to all of them, as well as our minor sponsors, all of these folks that you see here on the screen. Lovely to have them all support us. Some returning faces, as well as some new faces as well. And I gotta say, I've probably checked out and can vouch for most of the minor sponsors that we've got this season. I think they're all really, really good places. Obviously, VR Gamers especially is the place that is literally hosting our offline fighting game tournaments. So big shout outs to them for that. But being someone who is in the city a lot of these places are in the middle of the city. And they're always really popular. They're always really good. So great to see such, well-known Territory faces on board for this year's season. But that's going to be it, I think. Chris, do you have any closing words?
Not really. Just happy to be a part of the scene up here, and I hope to see you guys next week in stream.
Absolutely, folks. Well, we'll see you for round 4 kicking off next Thursday. And until then, folks, have a beautiful rest of your weekend and a beautiful rest of your time spent out of lockdown officially. I'm sure plenty of you are eager to head out there and get amongst it after sitting inside for an entire week. But we're going to throw it over to some music now, and we'll see you then.
See you later.